slated to be given a couple weeks ago, so I've modified it a bit for this morning. I'm grateful of this gathering time in a community of care and change, of regular but incredibly uncommon fellow humans. I'm humbled because I am with you. I am your fellow, and you are mine. We have shared much which is sacred to me, and I shall forever be grateful. This moment I breathe deeply of the chance to share, to manifest the universe in the making. We are so common and yet so sacred as stardust and DNA, carbon and water, and a bit of copper. We are regular and so extraordinary. We are such fallible human animals and yet so incredibly distinct and rare, each with our history, personality, penchant for treachery, and sacrificial service and beauty. How will we see and regard ourselves today in this season of change, with honking geese on the wing and early morning gun blasts signaling another hunt? How will we see others in life itself? Will we live in our denials of temporality, or our self and societally created illusions of grandeur and timelessness? Or might we teeter on the sweet and terrible edge of deepening awareness, the sense and knowing between likely ongoingness and that all could crash and end any moment, our lives hanging and continuing like a thread, and yet so strong as to withstand and even thrive against all odds? Perhaps nothing is sacred, and perhaps everything is sacred. Might we risk blurring the ordinary so that more of it becomes extraordinary? Or does seeing more things as special cheapen or dilute what is rare or sacred? What of poignant moments, the songs that evoke tears, the sorts of goodbyes or so longs for now that bring us closer to imagining our own deaths or the absence of another in our lives? These linger on their own and perhaps rank right up there as drinking a glass of water. What do we take for granted? What of our days filled with both fair and absurd, or quaint assumptions and expectations? And if we practiced deeper awareness and appreciation, might we feel more connected, slow down a bit, and not pretend in our subtle or not so subtle ways that we are going to live on and on? Maybe we enhance and see the sacred with and between and beyond us if we practice USA, unconditional self-acceptance, this radical way of self-understanding and being at home with ourselves, a way of creating more margin for grace and forgiveness in all our possibilities and all our fallibility. Perhaps we enhance and see the sacred if we practiced UOA, unconditional other acceptance, this radical posture and orientation to our fellows that allows them and us to abide in a different place with fewer judgments, better boundaries, more second chances, understandings and reconciliations. And just maybe we enhance and see the sacred if we practiced ULA, unconditional life acceptance, this radical sense of living in the world and not taking things personally, of knowing full well the beauty and unfairness of all unfoldings and realities, of not taking ourselves or others or life itself too seriously, to not rage against the night or another's brutality, but rather to live in the face of it all with more maturity, responsibility, discernment, deep acceptance, and hope. So we transcend and include all things, even our own realities and our foibles and our giftedness, many that have a lifetime guarantee, and with the awesome possibilities for change and newness. Maybe we see ourselves and our own unfolding as sacred this day. Maybe we see our encounters, our breath, our meals, our conversations, our embraces with each other as other than mundane or typical, but rather spectacular or raw and real. Thank you for being my fellows, you ordinary and deeply sacred